Hello everybody and welcome back. It's me, ChipZ, and as you can see, we're doing another episode of Chips Ahoy today. I didn't think I'd be able to go live this weekend, but at least after the Friday stream, but I actually got a little bit of time on my hands, so my schedule opened up a little bit for today. So probably won't be a super long stream like we did on Friday. We ended up going a little longer that day than we thought. If you haven't checked that stream out, or the VOD for that stream out, go check it out. It was good stuff, good fun. We had a great time, so yeah, definitely check that out when you can, if you want. But yeah, I think without further ado, I do just kind of want to jump back in. We were like right in the middle of like the God's Valley flashback. At long last, we finally get the good stuff, so I really want to keep our momentum. Hey, what's up, Streets? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. But yeah, so I definitely want to keep going and, you know, and just, yeah, keep our momentum, keep making our way through the God's Valley flashback. It would be great if we could finish the flashback in this sitting. So we were just heating up on the last episode. Basically, we were getting into some really interesting stuff. Basically, it looked like basically kind of all the pirates of the previous generation ended up sort of going up against what's his name? You guys know who I'm talking about. Imu-sama. And a bunch of crazy shit was happening. It was like a big free-for-all. A bunch of people were fighting. Rayleigh saved Shaki. Shaki being there seemed to be like the thing that lured everybody in. At least all the main pirates, which is very interesting. Everyone was fighting for her affection, and in the end, the Roger pirates ended up getting it. And then there were also the but specifically, Rox was there to save his family. You know, he was there to save Teach, and he was there to save his wife, who seems like a really cool person, actually. So Rox is like has surprised me a lot. He's been like surprisingly like noble, which is not something I would have expected from that character. But yeah, he's been great. And but it looks like at the end of last chapter, despite their best efforts to destroy Eam, like all the old generation badasses, like literally Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, Roger, Garp even, and Rox, all using their ults, popping their ults off on Eam, who's possessed Saturn. Even with all that, it's still not enough. And now Eam seems to be transforming Rox into a demon that will then be sicked upon his own family, the Davy Jones clan, or the Jones clan, the Jones D. Davy or whatever, or Davy D. Jones. But yeah, it's been a crazy few chapters. This flashback is kind of everything I expected it to be. It's been super awesome to see like some of the other like kind of like legendary pirates get to do their thing, like Captain John having Kid's fruit before Kid gets it is incredible. Like, I love that. I wonder if there's like some sort of relation there. But yeah, that's so wild. And then also the guy who has like the explosion fruit that Mr. Five had, the big kind of Night Man with like the armor and like who kind of has like the Chinese style like long beard, etc. That guy was wild. So yeah, super excited to see how this flashback ends. So without further ado, let's get back into it. I'm just going to check the audio here real quick, unless you want to give me some feedback, Streets, but no worries if you can't. Just going to verify. Alright, how we doing? Yeah, it seems like we are sounding okay. Alright. Alright, let's get back into it then. And yeah, we're sounding good. Very good. Alright, yeah, so let's get into chapter 1164, Davy's Blood. And I think we're coming up pretty close on like the most recent chapters. Let me just verify that. Yeah, 1171. So we're not even 10 away right now. I don't know if we'll be able to catch up to current today, but maybe within the next couple streams we might be able to. So definitely making some big progress now. Alright, so let's remove the animation. All right, chapter 1164, Davy's Blood. Ominous title. Is the Davy's blood about to be spilled? We shall find out. Okay, so we got a great cover art because the cover arc ended, so now we just have like a cool cover art. And we got Perona, the based baby girl that we all love, and she's chasing our awesome... Is this guy a mink? Because we've seen this guy before. He's Randolph, right, from Big Mom's crew. He's got a cool spear. He rides like a cool ostrich or something. And he's like kind of like the... this is supposed to be like an Alice in Wonderland reference. Like she's chasing... Alice chasing the rabbit who has a pocket watch. And he's like, I'm going to be late, you know? So that's great. You'll love to see that. So awesome. Very cool. Great to see Perona. She's a cutie. She's wonderful. We all love her. And it's funny, her little ghosts have rabbit ears now, so that's great. And she's thinking about her boyfriend, her best friend, Mihawk. Great. All right, cover request by Shinonome Tomari. Perona chasing a rabbit with a pocket watch. Very cool. So like I said, this is probably going to be a shorter stream. Maybe go for like an hour and a half to 2 hours max. But I really want to at least try to get through as much of the flashback as we can. So we're not gonna, this isn't gonna be a long one, but we will still have a lot of fun. So. Uh-oh. Okay, so Rox got hit with Domi Reversi, which we know turns you into a demon and makes you like subservient to Eam. Brings out like your worst tendencies is what it appears to do. So, interesting stuff. Let's see what we get here. Ah, Rox. All right. So, Rox is getting fucked up. He's transforming. Our attacks didn't even phase that spider thing. Okay, so we got Roger, we got Garp, we got Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom. What in the world? How obstinate. Wheeze, wheeze. You shouldn't scoff at humans, you beast. Oh shit. Davy D. Jones. That's the name of the previous king of the world. Oh shit. Okay, okay. Interesting. So this is like a reveal that Rox knows about the previous king of the world before imu-sama. Davy D. Jones, his ancestor. So that's why they want this guy dead so bad. And even after getting Domi reversied, it looks like he still has hockey coming off of him, and he's like kind of holding out hope. And like Eam's like, how obstinate, you know, you fucking son of a bitch. How can you, you know, hold off my Domi reversi? You shouldn't scoff at humans, you beast. Davy D. Jones, that's the name of the previous king of the world. Oh, dude, he looks badass with the demon fangs. That's based. Insolent fool, that wretch was never king. Not for a single moment. Thou hast no place in the fate that binds Mu and Davy. Interesting. So he's talking in Old English, Emu, or Mu as he calls himself. Not for a single moment thou hast no place in the fate that binds Mu and Davy. So he's like rejecting this history that that our boy Rox seems to be bringing up / reciting. Then you shouldn't be so scared. It's just a name after all. You've been afraid for a long time, haven't you? Afraid that one day someone's gonna inherit Davy's will and fulfill the promise. Inherit Davy's will and fulfill the promise. I wonder who scares you most. Davy D. Jones? Joy Boy? Oh shit, okay. So it seems like there's double prophecy. So we got two children of prophecy. Apparently like the inheritor of Davy Jones's will, who could be Marshall D. Teach, Joy Boy. And he even knows about Joy Boy, which is pretty crazy. Because I don't even think Roger would know about Joy Boy yet, right? Roger finds out about Joy Boy, like presumably when he starts like interpreting the poneglyphs with Odin, right? Like that seems to be what's implied. I wonder who scares you the most, Davy D. Jones, Joy Boy? Cease this babble, they shall never resurface. So long as thou fades into oblivion. Wasn't there a guy in Fishman Island whose name was sort of like Davy Jones adjacent? Hody Jones? Is Hody Jones related to these guys, I guess it's the Davy clan, not the Jones clan, so... Right? I think that's what's implied. I forget Rox's full name that he gave in a previous chapter. I could just look it up. Yeah, let me see if I can find that. Because, like, are one of the Joneses a fishman? That'd be interesting. Is it this one, the Island of Destiny chapter? Yeah, let's double check. Yeah, so here he gets approached. It's Davy D. Zebek. No, so okay, it's the Davy family, as I expected, or as I thought I remembered. So okay, cool. Afraid that one day someone's going to inherit Davy's will and fulfill the promise. So what's the promise? I wonder who scares you most. Is it to take the world back, or is it to release the world from the control of the world government? Is it something else entirely? Could have something to do with the fact that we've heard that, like, there's a cataclysm that's going to sink the world even deeper below the waves. Could be about bringing back the old world or something, draining the waters that surround the world, but in some way to bring the old world back. Davy G. Jones, Joy Boy, cease this babble. They shall never resurface, so long as thou fades into oblivion. Oh shit, he's holding out. He's been stabbed and he's still fucking going hard. Davy Moo. Davy. Moo has found the perfect soldiers now. A certain nation of gentle and indecisive giants. Oh shit. Giants, you bastard. Okay, so he's trying to, like, be like, hey, I found your friends. We're gonna use them as our soldiers. A certain nation of gentle and indecisive giants. So interesting. This is all tying it back to, like, the current arc. Like, essentially, we're in Elbaf. Emu is finally, like, making his move on Elbaf with the assistance of the Gods Knights. He is transforming them with his Domi Reversi into his, like, loyal legion of demons and a force, like an unstoppable fighting force to be used in this upcoming war. And yeah, and he's trying to, like, snuff out dissent from the Davy clan, from the Joy Boy people, from the D clan in general. Yeah, and getting the giants on somebody's side was definitely, like, a real factor in, like, who was going to win in the end. So it's interesting that, like, Luffy and his friends had the giants kind of respect. He even had a lot of the giants in his, you know, army. Like, he had, you know, one of his Grand Fleet members was Hajrudin and his crew. So just that alone gives, like, Luffy a stake in this fight as, like, a political player who could potentially earn the allegiance of the giants. So that's very interesting. So, but this is interesting. He's kind of Emu's kind of rubbing it in his face. Giants, you bastard! Stay away from Harald. He just wants peace. Indeed, this is an unprecedented opportunity. A sovereign this pliable may never appear again. Oh shit! So he's like, so is this why Loki killed his dad? Because he realized. Well, actually, we saw that his dad was killed by a bunch of his own court. Right? I think that's what was implied when we started the flashback. A sovereign this pliable may never appear again. You little, and okay, so he's starting to freak out. He's crying. Is that tears, or is it, like, his soul being sucked out of his eyes? I can't quite tell. Thy current deposition is quite similar now. Make haste. Similar. Now make haste. Now make haste. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so indeed, this is an unprecedented opportunity. A sovereign this pliable may never appear again. So he sees, like, Harald's kind of compassion and, like, desire for kind of, like, I guess, like, alliances and, like, you know, peace between his kingdom and the rest of the world, like, and the willingness to work with others. Like, like, Emu clearly sees this as, like, a weakness to be exploited, while on the other hand, like, Rox sees this as, like, what makes his friend, like, a good guy and, like, someone who should be left out of this, like, fine. It seems like Rox has actually come around to seeing, like, to understanding Harald's perspective, even though he wanted Harald to join in with him against the world government and against the other pirates, right, to conquer the seas. So it's interesting that now Rox has come to see, like, and fully understand and respect Harald's perspective, but the fact that he sees somebody here who's, like, willing to use his friend and his friend's, like, I guess I don't want to say naivete, because I do think Harald has like a valid reason to be pursuing peace and a valid reason to be, you know, kind of a little bit more charitable towards others. It is like Emu clearly doesn't value that perspective, or he values it as far as he can make use of it. So he has something that he can provide Harald what he wants if Harald fights for him. So it's very interesting. Put an end to Davy's dream. That current deposition is quite similar. Now make haste. Put an end to Davy's dream. So he's trying to get him to change into a full demon that he can control to go kill his family, basically. Ooh-ah! Okay, so Whitebeard sees him. Oh shit, okay. What the? Rocks! Okay, so he looks like he got slammed down. So Big Mom and Whitebeard are here. They're squaring up with Rocks. What happened? Did it do something to you up there? And even Kaido's here. Damn it, I'm fading. Okay, so it looks like he's starting to, his mind is starting to fade, and Big Mom and Kaido and Whitebeard are all here, and he's like, annihilate Davy's lineage with thy own hand. Okay, so this is like the command that's been given to him from Emu. Snuff out all obstacles on God Valley. Is it me, or are you bigger? Now he's big, because he was smaller than a lot of the members of his crew. Now he's standing even taller than Lin, which is crazy, because Lin, Kaido, and Whitebeard like definitely made him look like a little bit of a manlet. But you know, he was still cool as fuck. But yeah, that's notable. So now he's like taller than Lin, which is crazy. Out of the way, their blood must be purged from the pages of history. So that's interesting. So maybe I could have been wrong about Emu's Domi Reversi bringing out people's worst impulses. It could just be what, like, Em just gives them programming, and whatever, you know, whatever they program is what he wants, I guess. I don't know. That's possible. Like, because I can't even think in the darkest parts of Rox's soul. Like, Rox has been proven to, like, I don't think he gives a fuck about, like, the world government or like their propaganda against the Davy clan. I think he has full pride and allegiance to his clan and his people. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone gung-ho into God Valley if he wasn't like that. So I don't really think this is necessarily manipulating his, like, the darkest parts of his soul to bring it to the surface. I think this is just him, like, programming him with, like, exactly what he wants. It was more difficult for him to program that into him than he wanted to. I also like that his cape now looks like kind of like dark wings. Like, that's a really sick. God, he looks fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie. Like, in the when he moves his head, like the white coming out of his eyes. Such a cool design. Out of the way, their blood must be purged from the pages of history. So he leaps. He stabs Kaido. Rocks, what are you doing? And then, oh shit. And then, you know, he starts shaking. He starts shaking, and then bam, smacks him into the wall. Or I guess he stabs his face, or maybe grabs his horn and then throws him into the wall. Yeah, okay, I guess he throws him, tosses his head into the fucking mountainside. Kaido! So he's all fucked up. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to see Kaido get, like, manhandled like that. Although it is, like, a younger Kaido, but still. Damn you, Rocks! Aren't we meant to be allies? Okay, so now Big Mom's going at him. And does he kick Big Mom? It looks like he kicks her. Or, like, knees her in the face. Damn you, Rocks! Aren't we meant to be allies? And she's... Clearly, I mean, Big Mom seems hesitant to, you know, start a scrap with, like, essentially her boss. Or, like, at very least, someone she sees as an ally. He kicks her in the face. Fucking blah! Like, spits out blood. She goes flying backwards. Bam! Into another mountain. And now we got Whitebeard, who's standing tall. And he's looking fucking ready to, you know, really, like, I think Big Mom and Kaido, like, had their guard down to some degree. Not to say that they would have beaten Rocks, at least not at this point, but I think at this point, Whitebeard being older than them, a little bit more, like, you know, grounded, level-headed, I think he sees, like, even his current captain, and he's like, nah, you know, bet, you know, head up, like, let's go. We're in your way, Rocks. You are! And then, so, you are, and then, okay, so he's charging over to Whitebeard. We know Whitebeard has, like, you know, oh shit. He blocks it. Nice. Fuck yeah, Whitebeard, that's sick. And he blocks it with his hand, too. That's crazy. Oh no, he uses his looks like the cracks in the atmosphere might not just be hockey. That could be Whitebeard's power as well. Like the yeah, like oh shit! It looks like it literally cracked one of the giant like mountains. Holy fuck! So yeah, like Whitebeard and Rock's clash. Rock's looking massive, literally the same size as Whitebeard, presumably. Or at very least, like, yeah, it looks like he's about the same size. Whitebeard's blocking it just with his arm. That's super impressive, honestly. And, yeah, holy shit. So, like, huge fucking thing. Rox is looking scary as fuck. Whitebeard's trying to hold him off. About to blast him away. Crack. What the? Literally, holy shit. One of the God's Valley mountains that are, like, bigger than like the things on Drum Island, presumably, just like fell over. That's crazy. That reminds me of like when Big Bomb's castle fell, but this seems even more like the scale of this seems even more crazy, to be honest. Wah, run! The mountain's falling! Okay, so he's running. My boy Brox is running towards the coast. Holy shit. Everyone's like running and trying to avoid the impact of the falling debris. His wife and child are running away. All warships at the northeast coast have... Get away from the island. All ships, pull back. Yeah, I mean, understandable. Oh, I think it's because... Get away from the island. All ships, pull back. I imagine Emu's about to use, like, the big blast. That's going to destroy everything. So is this Charlos? It looks like Charlos. Northeast coast. That was close. Who is responsible? This unforgivable act must be punished. Yeah, because we know, I think we know that the way that, the direction that rock fell in, or that giant mountain fell in was, I mean, holy shit, that's crazy that clash destroyed that mountain. But yeah, I would imagine that that's where, because we know that the Celestial Dragons were escorted through, like, I guess, like, a pass under one of the mountains. So, I wonder if it was the one on that side or the one on the other side, but that's insane. That was close. Who is responsible? This unforgivable act must be punished. Everyone, hurry! Don't set sail without us, or you'll all be put to death. Hurry! Okay, so... Shaki and Rayleigh still running away. Southwest region. Come on, Rayleigh, this island's toast. Roger's safe, right? So he's like, wants to stay back to protect his bro, but things are getting really, really bad. Okay. Treasure, isn't this incredible? So interesting that of the Roger pirates, only one member actually was, like, witness to, like, this insane shit, the Domi Reversi. They might have all felt the hockey, but, like, he's the one, and, like, seen the impacts of what happened, but, like, the one who was actually witness to these things were like Roger, Garp, Rayleigh, Big Mom Kaido, and Whitebeard, which is interesting that it ended up being like only one of those people is still alive, presumably, right? Treasure, isn't this incredible? Wow, it's a dead end, move it. Damn it, I couldn't even save one tiny baby. Okay, so this is, oof, down bad. Down bad dragon, looking sad, like he normally does. Where did he go? Wait, Kuma, give it a rest. It would be too risky to keep trying to save people. So Kuma's still trying to rescue people. Doji, this man has been through it. Yeah, I mean, sucks, dude. Sucks to suck. Will Dragon ever do anything cool? I feel like we got to start, like, putting bets down on that type of thing. This man, yeah, Dragon giving Luffy at Sabaody here. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I feel for him. I do feel for him, but, like, I have this weird thing where, like, I don't know. It just feels like Dragon has done absolutely nothing of importance in the story so far. At least from my perspective. Like, literally, even his most, like, even, like, Kuma, I feel like, has had more agency and been able to do more interesting stuff. Because I remember pre-time skip, I always thought that Kuma was protecting Luffy on Dragon's orders, not because he thought that Luffy was like a cool, interesting guy who was like worth saving because maybe he would be Joy Boy or something, but or maybe had the chance to become a Joy Boy lad or something. But yeah, it is It is weird. Like, Dragon does feel like a very unfortunately useless character, and like I want to feel for him, but I just don't really feel like I have that much attachment to him. Like, he's a cool guy here, I guess, but even then his he feels like a little bit too much of a goody two shoes right now, and I can appreciate it in the face of like this like crazy evil. I can appreciate him like wanting to do good even in spite of his organization being involved in you know acts of like extreme evil and stuff, and like kind of this being his awakening to how bad things are in the world and how the world government and by extension the arm of the world government, the Marines, can like do awful things like this. So like I definitely appreciate the arc that they're giving this guy, and it is interesting how all these different characters are having their arc all at the same time. I think this is a really interesting flashback in that way, because not only are we getting a lot of interesting stuff with like Loki and Harald, we're also getting this stuff with like characters we've known about and wanted to learn more about for a really long time, like Dragon, Garp, like Roger, like the Rocks pirates, like Whitebeard and those guys, and then even Rocks himself. Like, this is really interesting to get sort of like all these big sort of character defining moments, like see their arcs, kind of see them undergo these arcs. Like, it's been interesting. It has been interesting to see like kind of this was like a real linchpin moment for all of these characters that have been built up for a very long time. So that's interesting. I think this flashback is great. I'm just like waiting. I'm still waiting to like care more about Dragon as a character. Right now, I just still feel like he just hasn't done anything to make me feel like he has like a ton of like, compared to his contemporaries, some of whom are on this island, like the Yonko, the people who become Yonko later, the like the Roger Pirates, Rocks, and like the Giants. Maybe not the Giants as much, but like a lot of the people in this flashback feel like we know they go on to like do crazy things and like influence the world in big ways. And I'm not saying the revolutionaries don't, but I feel like besides the Reverie, which definitely was sort of like their biggest thing to date, even the Reverie felt like it was almost more of like a Sabo initiative to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because Sabo feels like more active in the narrative than Dragon does. Dragon seems like a very like passive like guy who's just sort of like biding his time. I do really hope that we get more interesting stuff from him in the future, and that he's able to kind of like make me care about him more. And like, I think it's cool that he saved Shanks and Shamrock or whatever. And obviously, I think they're take. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Looks like Shanks is asleep in the treasure chest. Very cool. So that makes sense as to why the Roger Pirates have acquired Shanks. Very interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just waiting to care more about this guy, about Dragon. That's all. I don't hate him. I'm just kind of like, please do something interesting, do something impactful to make me. And even if like Reverie was his plan, which it probably was on some level, the fact that like he was not like there, he was not directly involved in any real capacity, does make me kind of think less of him. And the fact that what I assumed was that he had given Kuma like a mission to go undercover with the world government to like, kind of communicate with Vegapunk, and that Kuma maybe took it a little bit too far by like letting himself get turned into a cyborg, which wasn't part of the original deal. Like, Kuma was so dedicated to his mission. Like, I assumed that Dragon and Kuma were always in cahoots, not that Kuma has been made an even more interesting and like more compelling character by the fact that he has more agency than I expected. I initially thought he was like, that him and Dragon concocted this plan where he was going to go undercover in the world government to help be like an informant for them. That does not appear to be the case, and also to potentially look after Dragon's son if he ever kind of came out into the world proper. But clearly that wasn't the case. So for me, like, that would have been an interesting like long game plan for the revolutionaries, having a man on the inside. That ended up kind of like going south because Kuma took his job too seriously. Which still would have made Kuma very interesting, and Kuma's a great character. But like, for me right now, everything I kind of like attributed to Dragon, that in my head, like headcanon stuff, I was like, oh, Dragon must have done this because like the little theories I built up throughout the series, it keeps getting proven wrong, which makes Dragon seem like incredibly incompetent to me. And makes everyone who works with him seem like way cooler than he is. So, and then all of his contemporaries on the world stage, the Yonko, the, you know, the pirates, like other forces in the world, like Harald and those guys, all these people seem like, like so much more like effective and dynamic, and like, they just have like so much more agency in the narrative than this man does. And that's just how I feel right now. Oda can definitely turn the tables on that still, but at the moment I am, I don't know, I'm still waiting for Oda to make me give a fuck about Dragon and make me think that he's a cool character, because right now I just do not. I think he's a baby bitch, and his son is cooler than him, is more impactful on the world stage than he is. His grandfather, or his father, is cooler than him and more impactful on the world stage than he is. The people who work under him are just like Sabo and Kuma are both more impactful on the world stage, more interesting than he is. Dragon's just a bitch. He sucks. Sorry, I'm being hyperbolic. Obviously, like, Oda can change my mind, but like right now, like this fucking cucked man crying on his knees, just weeping about being unable to do anything. That's how I feel about him. Like, you've never been able to do anything, and Oda just keeps cucking you because he hates you. I have no other, you know, I have no other reason to think anything else, because Oda's not giving me a reason to care. But anyway, that's true. I feel like this flashback is him at his best in the entire manga so far. Not that it's a high bar, though. Yeah, I mean, it is. It is the best thing we've seen of him, besides like his initial introduction of like sending, you know, saving Luffy in Logtown. Like, that is still, that was like like that was the most aura Dragon has ever had. You know, saving Luffy from like a regular ass like Marine captain in chapter 100 was the coolest thing he ever did. And it's been over like 1,000 chapters since then, and he still hasn't done anything cooler than that. And that's like, that's where I'm kind of like, bruh, like, get to it, brother. Like, do something. So yeah, I mean, like, this humanizes him, and that's good. Now it's like, okay, let's make him like badass, and like, or at very least give him agency, give him like, he doesn't even need to be like as badass as like Garp, but just like make him cool, make him like a planny guy. It feels like the plans that they have for the Reverie and the invasion on the Reverie, and to take out like the and to like pressure the world government by, you know, burning their like stores of food, or like, you know, destroying like stuff there to make it more, and like freeing slaves and making it more difficult for them to function without, you know, getting like ties from the rest of the world. That's all really good in the sense that it makes sense, but it feels like it's not just his plan. It's like a plan that was like concocted with a bunch of other people and was carried out by his like number two. So it makes Sabo look cool, because Sabo actually like was there, did cool shit, fought with admirals, had agency, and I'm just waiting for Dragon to matter more. So we'll see what happens. Vate Kuma, give it a rest. It would be too risky to keep trying to save people. Kumachi. Huff, huff. Okay, so they're trying to get Kuma to run away. There might still be more people out there. Huff, huff. Oh, found one. Oh shit, who did you just find? Damn, that Gonzui. So, okay, this is Captain John, who got fucked up by Gonzui. Shiki. Asshole, you'll never make it off the island alive, you hear? Okay, so it looks like Shiki's the one who's getting away with the treasure. And it looks like he beat up Gonzui, or did something to hurt Gonzui to put him out of commission for a little while. Gee, ha ha ha. So this is great. I love the backstabby nature of the Rocks crew. It is very pirate feeling. Like, this feels more like pirates than like probably anything we've ever gotten in the series. But like, I like that these pirates are like backstabbing each other. Like, when things go south, they all like, it's like every man for himself. That feels very like pirate coded in a way that One Piece doesn't typically feel. Like, every once in a while you get like kind of like a backstabby person, like Nami even early on used to backstab the crew, and that was honestly based. Like, I loved when Nami was like a crazy backstabber. Like, that was actually amazing when she would just like be like, ah shit, things are getting fucked, I need to run away with the treasure. Or like when she stole the Straw Hat ship in East Blue, you know, like, that was amazing. But It doesn't happen that often. Like, I feel like we've gotten a little bit of that with Blackbeard's crew, but to me, like, this is probably like the most like relevant that sort of like piratey nature has been, and maybe a little bit with I mean, maybe you could argue, like, I think Big Mom's crew and Kaido's crew had a little bit of that, like, backstabbiness going on, where, like, people were willing to, like, switch sides and, like, fuck each other over. So, like, I definitely think there has been some of it, and, like, more of it recently than we'd seen in a while, but I'm loving that we're seeing so much of it here with the Rocks Pirates. It's awesome. And it's very overt, and I like that. I mean, especially now that their captain is, like, AWOL. It's just like whoever can get off the island with some loot is kind of like the winner now. Gee ha ha ha! No one gets the drop on me. Everyone to the coast. We need stretchers. We can't. The forest's on fire. I love that Shiki has, like, consistently been, like, such a relevant member of the story. Like, we keep, like, kind of cutting back and seeing more of this guy, and, like, it's so funny because he was just, like, one, like, guy in a one-off movie who, you know, fought Luffy, like, I think even before he had, like, Gear 4th, and somehow he's remained, like, incredibly relevant this whole time, like, and he just keeps coming back, and Oda just really likes him, I guess, which is fine. Like, it's a good way to, like, kind of, you know, reintroduce this character. So I wonder if Captain John has to get away with some treasure, right? Damn that Gonzui. So Gonzui has been, the Gonzu journalist over here has been, fucked up, I guess, by Shiki. Okay, so now, Rock's coming up on his wifey, whose name I think is Eris. She's carrying Teach away. So now Teach has to see his own father push down a bunch of trees. That's kind of crazy. So he's like Big Mom big now. He's pushing down over trees to, you know, chase down his wifey. Zebek, he looks... So, you lost? I'm sorry, it's our fault. You faced that thing to save us, even though you weren't ready yet. So she's crying and she's like, so you lost. I'm sorry, it's our fault. You faced that thing to save us, even though you weren't ready yet. Interesting. Teach. So she's gonna try to save him. Oh, this is, I mean, come on, save this motherfucker, please. We have no choice but to jump into the sea and swim. I won't let the Davy clan end here. So she really cares about the Davy clan. That's interesting. Despite not originally being part of the clan, I guess she was welcomed in as sort of as family, which is interesting, that they were so welcoming to her. I won't let the Davy clan end here. We'll survive no matter what. Escapee spotted on the coast. Oh shit, so he's going for the... He's literally about to cut her down. She's about to get hit by cannonballs that are firing from the marine ships, or just firing at a wife and a baby running from a pirate. That shows how fucked up they are. This is basically a buster call, you know, in that they're just trying to kill, like, innocent civilians who potentially could be part of the Davy clan. Oh no! Wow, Kuma saved them. Oh my god. Kuma sent them away, dude. That's crazy. Wow, so Kuma saved Blackbeard and Blackbeard's mom. That's insane, dude. That's crazy. I never in a million years would have anticipated that. That's wild. I mean, Kuma's, wow, really the MVP of the arc in a lot of ways. Poof, poof. So he made them disappear, and he's about to get cut down by cannonballs and rocks at the same time. Poof, poof. Did he poof himself right here? He's there, and then he poofs again? He must have poofed himself before he got cut, right? I think that's what's implied here, right? Yeah, I think that's what's implied here. Kaboom! Wah! Okay, so... ... Davy. Next, extinguish all that who remain on the island. Okay. So he's calling him Davy, which is interesting. Vice Admiral Garp, please hurry up. I told ya to get the hell out of here. How long are you gonna stick around? I mean, Garp seems like the kind of guy who could, like, swim back to Marineford if you needed to, you know? He's like that badass. Like, kind of like Rayleigh swam from Shabodi Amazon Lily. You know what? To be fair, he must have known how to get there because he's like basically like, you know, husbands with the former princess. So understandable. Vice Admiral Garp, please hurry up. Okay, I told you to get the hell out of here. How long are you gonna stick around? So he's telling his people to get the fuck out. Roger, where are you? I'm fine. Let me know when everyone's on board. So now Rox is going on a rampage. Yeah, stop it, Rox! Rox! Why does he look like that? So he's looking fucking demonic. Pretty badass, though. Like, I do like his fucking demon look. Okay, so now these two are gonna go head up with Rox, which is what we knew. We knew that based on, like, the information we got from the world government that Garp and Roger teamed up to defeat Rox. So it looks like, in some ways, that wasn't completely untrue. Bring it on, Rox! Bring it on, Rox! Okay, so they're both gonna take him on. They yell, they shout, hockey is loud as fuck. They're basically, come here, like, stop messing with these small fry. And they're basically putting him out of his misery. Because, like, he doesn't want to be, like, he's literally crying. He doesn't want to be, yeah, please kill me. He does not want to be killing his own family and killing his friends, you know? Like, can we see anyone we know here that he's, like, killing? Or is it just, like, probably random, like, other pirates from Pirate Island that heard about the Shocky being on the island and other treasure being there? Bring it on, Rox! Bring it on, Rox! Davy! Whoosh! We're back, baby. Yeah, we're back. Hey, what's up, King T? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I had a little bit of time. I was originally going to be busy today, going out of town, but due to, I kind of got snowed in. So, I was like, fuck it, let's do a little One Piece. So thank you for joining us. It's getting good. We're getting some interesting lore. We're about to get a crazy fight, presumably, between, Demon Rox, who looks sick. I like that his cape has turned into, like, you know, dark, like, demon wings. He looks awesome. And he's massive, man. They, like, the crazy that the Dome Reversi, like, makes you grow in size. Like, he was, like, the shortest guy on his crew. He was, like, as tall as, like, Roger. And now it's Roger and Garp versus Rox. That's wild. So what happened to Whitebeard? Did Whitebeard also get knocked out when the mountain got crushed? I presume that Whitebeard also got smacked. That he tried to hold Rox off and he got smacked away. What the hell have you turned into? I won't let you go after my crew. Nice, so he's going to protect his crew, going head up with anyone. And, Roger, Garp, this voice, please. Oh, he's got the voice of all things. Wow, so he's communicating via the voice of all things. And presumably they can hear it. And maybe this is, holy shit, Roger, Garp, this voice. And maybe this is Roger's first time hearing the voice of all things. But it's interesting, they can both hear him. Roger, Garp, this voice, please. What's with that expression? And he's fucking crying. Because of course he doesn't want to do this. Because of course he doesn't want to kill his friends and, like, kill his wife and kill his child, you know. Thank God for Kuma for getting him the hell out of there. And presumably getting himself out of there right after that. Kuma's so legendary. Dude, yeah, Kuma really is like the MVP of God's Valley. Literally saved, like, all the people who became, like, important later, besides, like, the legends who, you know, were able to head up with the best of them. So, like, everyone who wasn't, like, a legend at the time, I mean, I guess besides, I guess you could give Dragon some credit for saving Shanks, even though it was kind of like a series of just a Rube Goldberg machine of just, like, weird things happening that led to his escape and his rescue. But, you know, you can give Dragon some credit for that, at least. Roger, Garp, this voice, please. What's with that expression? Please, kill me. And they're like, what? And then he jumps at them while, like, crying with tears in his eyes. The climax of the God Valley incident. Chapter 1164, end. Alright, fuck. Next chapter. Let's keep going. Alright. Chapter 1165, Echo. Damn, okay. Oh, this is actually super cute, not gonna lie. I'm not the biggest Law fan, but I do... This is a really cute image. I love Zeus, and Beppo's... As far as Law's crew go, Beppo's great. We love Beppo. in this house. Cover request by Machi and Takashi. Beppo peacefully sleeping using Zeus as a pillow. Aw, that's so cute. And Law using Beppo as a pillow. Great. Adorable cover page. Rox versus Roger and Garp. Holy shit, dude. I can't believe we're actually getting this. This is so wild. Please, you hear that too, right? Yeah, so looks like Garp and Roger are the last line of defense. All the, even Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom are kind of, you know, sent packing by Demon Rox. So, crazy. Please kill me! And then he's jumping, launching at them. His words, the way he's acting, and that look on his face. It's almost like they're doing this for like a contemporary, like they have to kill him because he wants them to. It's not just because they want to protect their friends. It's like they're almost doing him a favor here, and it's like, wow. Damn, okay. Foosh, none of it adds up. Yeah, so, gotcha. I mean, none of it does add up. So Roger is able to hold off Rox in this moment. Pretty badass clash right here. Dude, oh man, Roger looks so fucking cool in this image. Damn, this is awesome. And Garp going in, dude. So it's so cool. It's Luffy's grandpa and Ace's dad, like fighting Blackbeard's dad. This shit is so epic. This shit is awesome. God, this is cool. So Garp going in, punches him in the fucking, bonks him on the fucking nose, gives him a big old galaxy bonk. But it looks like he kind of stopped it, just with his nose, dead in his tracks. That's how strong he is right now. Like Garp's trying to, like, you know, push him, but like he's just standing his ground, and Roger's just trying to hold him off. But even one-handed, sends them both packing, just with like his hockey, basically. Crazy. Blast them back. Wow. Wow, and look at that. Like you can see like the fucking reverberating effects from like their clash, like blasting things outward, cutting the sky. Awesome. Yeah, and like the shadows coming. This is such a great panel, like the shadows coming off of Roger and Garp as they're kind of blown back. Holy shit. They're both blown back into like mountains and shit, and like, wow. Holy fuck. So now he's become like a true fucking monster, and like the fucking hockey split the sky. The sky, it's splitting! We've got to get out of here or we're gonna die. Let's steal a ship and get off this island. Huh? What about Rox's ship? Dumbass, no one's going back. So okay, so everyone's splintering. All the Rox pirates are kind of going off to do their own thing. This is definitely Oda's best flashback fight. Yeah, this is fucking awesome. This is so cool. I'm trying to think of one that would even be like comparable, but this is really good. Huh? What about Rox's ship? Dumbass, no one's going back. The Rox pirates are history. Hurry to the coast. Okay, so interesting. Vice Admiral Garp, can you repeat that? I said get every survivor and Marine you can aboard that ship and cast off immediately. Roger, what's going on over there? So I'm not sure who this guy is. I don't think we've seen him before. I don't know if we've seen this guy. Oh yeah, no, we've seen this guy. He almost looks like one of the Sky Island or Skypiea fighters. This guy with the long hair. I feel like we have seen him before. I don't know about this guy, this weird monkey-looking guy in the middle, but whatever. Get underway. The instant Rayleigh's group is aboard. Wait for me at sea. I'll make it back for sure. Okay, badass, dude. Badass. This is awesome. I love it. I love it. This is so cool. Okay, so they're going. Oh, fucking. Okay. Gloves are coming off. This is sick. Roger and Garp versus Rox. Rox and Roger. I came to this island to catch the pair of you, but look how things panned out. Wow. Fling. Well, all I wanted was to save Shocky, grab some treasure and bail. Fling. Want to call a temporary truce? Can't say I'm thrilled with the idea, but we can't just leave him be. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. This is awesome. Want to call a temporary truce? I can't say I'm thrilled with that idea, but we can't just leave him be. Alright, so hey, rocks! Dude, okay, so immediately, like, almost like instantly teleports to Garp. Garp jumps over that fucking, that slash. Jumps over him. I'm surprised he didn't get an attack of opportunity in on that one, but okay. Looks like Roger's going for the attack in this instance. Garp just had to get out of the way. Slashes at him. Looks like it actually hit him. Knocks him into the mountain. And now Garp's got him. This form, this curse. Can't we undo it somehow? So he grabs him by the foot, tosses him. Nice. Okay, so they're kind of keeping him off balance right now. That's cool. So Roger does his cool like hockey slash. It's interesting because even though Roger has a sword, his attacks feel more like blunt force attacks. Like it feels like I don't know, like it's never really felt like the attack he used on Odin, the Divine Departure, it was weird because it didn't really like, it didn't feel like it really slashed Odin. It felt like it more just like just fucking sent like a fucking, I don't know, if you guys ever seen Bleach, it felt like, you know, hitting him with like a Getsuga Tenshou, which is like essentially like an energy slash, and it can, you know, it can cut you, but it will also, but if it doesn't hit you like directly, if like the blade doesn't hit you directly, it's more likely to just like burn you almost, like, or like, you know, it's like hitting you with like so much energy in like kind of like a slicing, like kind of formation essentially, that it's essentially like, you know, it just kind of like essentially like burns where it hits almost like, you know, and it can essentially burn parts of you away. Like it's that powerful. Like it can like burn someone's like fucking arm off, or like you can, you know, or like have like a scar that like is partially a cut but partially just like a burn mark around it. It feels like Roger's attacks have always felt like a little bit more like a Getsuga Tenshou to me, if you guys have any frame of reference on that. Yeah, it feels different from Mihawk for sure, King T. And Doji says, set the hockey blast to stun. Yeah, good one, Doji. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know. It kind of gives Getsuga Tenshou. He doesn't feel like a swordsman exactly to me, but I don't know. Like, in the same way that, like, Mihawk is, you know? Like, where if Mihawk slashes his sword, it won't necessarily, like, hit you with, like, a wide-range blast, like something like, Rogers will do. It's more like precision, and it will just like, you know, he'll just like casually swipe, and then all of a sudden like a mountain will be disconnected from the base of the mountain, you know? It's like, I don't see Rogers' attacks doing that as much as it's more like just gonna like it'll just blow a hole in the mountain, like the same way like Luffy's big punch can like blow a hole in the ground or something, you know? It's almost like a blunt force attack. So it's always been a little weird that he has a sword. It's a cool aesthetic for him, but the fact that his attacks, like this attack doesn't seem to have cut rocks. It like more like pushed him. It's like almost like he got, you know, hit with like a cannonball in the back of the small of his back, like his lower back, and it just pushed him into the mountain or something. King T says, I just like that his sword's name is Ace. Yeah, I agree. I like that he named his son after his sword. That's pretty cool. This form, this curse. Can't we undo it somehow? So even, that's interesting, even like Garp, who's like, they're tossing him around right now. I mean, obviously, he's off balance. But it's interesting that even Garp is interested in potentially like saving Rocks in some capacity. He obviously wants to take him in and have the glory for bringing him in. But it's like he doesn't want to kill him. And that's actually like pretty notable, I think. And now Roger's kind of about to crash down on him. Wake up! And like hits him gives him a big old bonk with his club sword. Hockey blasts go everywhere. Hurry! Roger won't stop fighting till he's sure we've escaped. It's strange, this hockey. So this is Rayleigh and Shocky. Nice ship. You don't mind if I tag along, right? Gloriosa? I keep forgetting her name. I keep calling her Elder Neon, but her name is actually Gloriosa. Right. Okay. Interesting. I wonder if they're going to be well, no. We know he gets with the giant later. But we know we know this man gets around. He's the Sanji of the crew, but like actually successful at picking up women. So, you listen, Kaido. So these two are fine. They got blown away, but they're all right. You listen, Kaido. Consider this a lifelong debt. You'll pay me back one day. Mark my words. Don't be stupid. You lost fair and square, Lin Lin. Now watch. I'm gonna start a crew where brutality is the only law. Interesting. Okay. This is kind of like their origin. And okay. You've grown bold, haven't you? But you'll never be able to beat me. Aw, she's so... Big Mom's so hot. I love her. Lin Lin, what are you doing? We've got to go. Load up the treasure. One day I'll come to collect what you owe. I'll crush you when that time comes. So these guys are becoming rivals. Interesting. I always thought she kind of was like his big sister in a way. And I guess she kind of is, but he's pretty defiant. Like he's pretty hardcore. And like it seems like they're, in a way, even back then, pretty evenly matched. But it's hard to say. Because before he got his devil fruit, who knows if he could have gone toe-to-toe with her. I doubt it. You know, he was getting sunned pretty hard. Even by like Captain John earlier on. Like Captain John was sunning Kaido pretty hard back in the day. So yeah, I'm not sure he could go head up with Lin Lin. Maybe until now. Now that he's got his fruit, he can be a little bit bolder in his confrontations with these people. Although he's always had a defiant streak about him, which is cool. One day I'll come back to collect what you owe. So obviously he's got Streusen there. She's got her boy Streusen. I'll crush you when that time comes. Bam! Okay, so Rox is back up. He tossed Garp into the, and Brox and Roger into the mountain. Damn, okay, he's just using his fucking claws to, like, slice at him. Or swipe at him. And it's funny, because even Rox, who's, like, considered, like, in the fucking, like, not like someone's speech bubble, it was like the narrators, like Rox was like known far and wide for his like incredible swordsmanship, but even his sword attacks that he used on Loki and then later on Harald also feel like blunt force attacks, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't feel super Mihawk-esque. Although I would say the fact that the narrative said like he was like renowned for his like incredible swordsmanship, I think that in and of itself kind of gives his like swordsmanship a little bit more credibility than like Roger's would, where Roger, like, the narrative has just never said, like, Roger's the coolest guy with the sword who ever lived, you know? It's more just like, no, he has a sword, but he does, like, big hockey attacks. He uses it as, like, an instrument to channel his hockey powers, you know? His hockey and his strength, you know? It's just kind of his weapon of choice. Like, he could probably use other weapons and still have a very similar effect, you know? You broke the mountain, didn't ya, Newgate? Who are you? Okay, so it was him who broke the mountain. Looks like your crew's also breaking up. Oh, shit. Is this Marco's dad? What? Who's this guy? The captain of the Polo Pirates, Pologram. Or Pologram. Who the fuck is that? The name's Graham. Okay. You broke the mountain, didn't you, Newgate? So, who are you? So these guys are going to team up and become best buddies? Looks like your crew's also breaking up. So his crew broke up too? The name's Graham. I'm a big fan. You need a ship, right? Let's join forces. Buzz off. Don't get in my way. So interesting. So Marco's dad and Whitebeard become like best buddies, I guess. Okay. Or like he like propositions them. So it looks like they're going to join forces as everyone else is kind of breaking up. So, okay. Interesting. Marco Polo. Oh shit! It is oh my god! So does that mean Marco's last name is Graham? So Pologram and Marco Graham? Interesting. Okay. Oh, okay. So King T says, I think the only times Rock's sword attack felt like Mihawk or Zoro was when he cut Garling and the island. Yes. The fact that he just oh wait, when did he cut Garling? Oh yeah, he did cut Garling, right? Garling had like slices open in his fucking skull. Yeah, yeah, I forgot about that. And then yeah, when he cut the island, but the cutting of the island seemed like a result of like him and Whitebeard clashing. Also, Whitebeard seems fine. Like I assumed the fact that Rox was able to get by Whitebeard meant that Rox won that clash, but maybe he won that clash and Whitebeard, being as strong as he is, was just able to like, you know, he got pushed away. But just like Kaido and Big Mom, he wasn't like down for the count. He was able to like walk away and be like, well, that hurt, but I'm fine still and I can still do stuff. Interesting. Okay. So everyone's forming their own alliances and kind of like leaving to do their own thing. Hey, where's Newgate? Don't ask me. So these guys are running. Wait, who's the ghost person? What the fuck? What? Perona's ghost thing is there? What the hell? Is it this guy? This little dude with the sunglasses and the hat? What the fuck? Is that young Perona? I don't know what to make of that at all. So she's got her, you know, fistful of treasure. She's looking to... Is this before she joined up with the science squad? Or after? I feel like this is before? No, after? I feel like this is before, right? I feel like this has got to be before. Pologram and Polo Marco? I feel like it's Pologram and Marcogram. That would probably make more sense. That's Oda one-shot character. Wait, what? Who's Oda's one-shot character? The guy with the ghosts? Perona ghosts? I don't know what's going on. Wait, is this like supposed to be Moria or something? I'm so confused on what is happening here. He could see ghosts in the one-shot, so Oda gave him a Perona fruit. Oh, wait. Which one-shot? Oh, wait, is this like a... So it's a one-shot, so that means it was before One Piece was serialized, right? So, like, at the same time they were doing... what's it called? Like, he was doing, like, Wanted and stuff, right? So that's like a Wanted one-shot. Calm down, Dragon. What do you think you're doing? Me, what about you? Do you condone this? Okay. Dragon actually taking some agency, doing something interesting, like going head up with with someone from the world government, it looks like. Dragon, bring those survivors aboard. We're saving them. Okay, base Dragon. Base Dragon actually like standing on business. You know what? This is probably as much as I've liked Dragon so far. Yeah, him actually like standing on business, doing something cool, like standing up to like the authorities, being a like base defiant guy. You love to see it. Bring those survivors aboard. We're saving them. And if anyone's got a problem with that, I'll execute them. Oh, shit. Okay, so it looks like Rayleigh got his girlfriend back to the ship. They still have the egg. The egg is still on the ship. What is the egg? What is the goddamn egg on the Roger Pirate ship? Will we ever find out? I don't know, bros. I'm losing hope day by day. I feel like we have to. Like, you cannot, it's like a Chekhov's gun. You can't introduce an egg in part one of a story and not reveal what's in the egg in part whatever. Yeah, it's from Wanted. Okay, thank you for clarifying. If you've seen Mob Psycho, the ghost from the one-shot kind of acts like Dimple, LOL. I haven't seen Mob Psycho, but it's on my list. I've actually been wanting to watch, I don't know if you guys have heard of, what's it called again? It's Lord of Mysteries. I want to watch Lord of Mysteries because, like, apparently it's pretty good. I think it's like a Chinese animated thing, if I'm not mistaken, but I think it's on Crunchyroll, maybe. And, like, I think they're making, like, a game based off of it, and the game actually looks pretty cool, based on what I've seen anyway. So, I've been meaning to check that one out. I haven't been watching a ton of anime recently. To be fair, I haven't been watching a ton of TV, like, in general. But I do want to start watching some shows, even potentially doing some reactions on my channel. So if you're interested in that, check it out. There might be some anime stuff, but still figuring out like when I would be able to do that. So it's something I've been interested in doing for a while though. Okay, let's see. So this won't end well for you, Dragon. Bring it on. Where are you going, Rayleigh? Gibbon? Don't follow us. Sail the boat out to sea and wait. Okay, so these guys are going back for their captain, based. That island never existed. Is that clear? Oh, shit. West Blue. So, okay, so this is Saturn, but he has, like, the Eam eyes. So it looks like he's been fully possessed by Eam. And it looks like he might be on the, is he on the government ship? Or is he still on the island? Because it's possible that, like, I feel like he can be summoned back to Mary Joa, right? But actually, maybe not. Because he came on a boat. And I know he summoned the others, but then they got sent back when they got hit by, like, Joy Boy hockey. Or something. So okay. That island never existed. Is that clear? West Blue. So they're about to do the giant space laser and completely destroy God Valley, which is what we assumed happened. That's what happened to Lelouch, which is presumably where Blackbeard and his wifey were trying to escape to. or Blackbeard, not his wifey, but Blackbeard and his mom were trying to escape to the Lucia, where they were going to reunite with their dad, or Rox. West Blue, the records kept by 411 and G11 and CP6 concerning the top secret level S special mission on God Valley are sparse. Interesting. So now we're kind of getting some records about, oh shit, so the other valley, the other part of the other mountain, the adjacent mountain was also knocked down by this fight. So we're kind of getting like we're flashing away. At least we're not going to see the full fight, but that's okay. I didn't really expect to see the full fight. The record's kept by G11 and CP6, so they're still fighting. They're going at it. Then look, even Rox is looking a little fucked up. He's got a little blood over his eye. They're all looking a little fucked, but they're fighting. Seems like these two are evenly matched with Rox. That's cool. So G11 and CP6 seem to have some records of this event, even though most of the records on it have been expunged from history, and the island is considered to have never existed officially in that capacity. Concerning the top secret level S special mission on God Valley are sparse. The names of the participants of the human hunt were purged. Okay. Covering up their tracks, as they do. Oh god. It's like we're still having human hunts today, and it's so fucking frustrating. Little is recorded regarding the site of the incident, God Valley. Huff Huff, did you know the government had ties to that black monster? Seems like an affront to justice. So it looks like this is Roger and Garp talking after their fight with Rox, presumably, or maybe during their fight with Rox, and like Roger's trying to be like, you work for this guy, and you're okay with them having like a fucking demon who can like transform people, and like that they're gonna kill like civilians, and like Roger's kind of giving them some attitude for that. Information regarding the island's whereabouts, size, and population were also purged. Okay. The number of casualties remain unknown to this day. Wheeze, I'm with you there. Wow. Seems like an affront to justice. Wheeze, I'm with you there. So this is probably after the fight. Looks like rain is coming down. If you want to leave the Navy, you should join us. Wheeze. So he's trying to proposition him. Hell no, if I quit, who'd protect the Marines? So, interesting. So he cares about the Marines themselves. Like, he cares about less so about the organization and more about, like, his brothers in arms. It's like he doesn't necessarily care about, like, the goal of the world government or anything. He's just, like, he believes in, keeping the peace, keeping justice, beating up pirates. He just likes that. And like he doesn't want to leave his friends that he's come to rely on and care about unprotected. So it's noble. This is something that a lot of soldiers and men of uniform and law officials feel. It's like not an uncommon thing, and not all. Many of them join with altruistic intentions. And oftentimes they do a lot of good things, even though the bad stuff they do gets a lot more publicity because of the nature of how the world works. But yeah, and also how stories work as well. Okay, yeah, it's from Wanted. Okay, I need to watch Lord of Mysteries too. I heard had One Piece level of lore, so I want to find out. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be interesting. Yeah, Huff. It's all about the mass. It's all about the mass, Garp. Huh. The mass? What are you talking about? Wheeze. So it's raining. These guys are all fucked up. They're kind of coming to after this big fight. Armament Hockey can normally counter Devil Fruit abilities, and I'm using Conqueror's Hockey coding to boot. Interesting. So Conqueror's Hockey coding, this is something that Luffy was able to start doing in his fight against Kaido. So he's explaining how to fight these guys, I think. About how to fight, like, the Domi Reversi guys, and also, like, the, I guess, like, some other, like, the demons, and, like, Eam specifically, like, people who seem, like, unbeatable and immortal, right? Armament Hockey can normally counter Devil Fruit abilities, and I'm using Conqueror's Hockey coding to boot. So there's no way my attacks aren't doing anything. Huff. Interesting. So maybe they're still fighting, and this is just, like, kind of a reprieve in the middle of the battle, and they're kind of discussing strategy. That's possible. Armament Hockey can normally counter Devil Fruit abilities, and I'm using Conqueror's Hockey coding to boot. So there's no way my attacks aren't doing anything. Huff. So he's talking about the mass of the attack. Huff, huff. It's because he's also using Conqueror's Haki to guard himself. It's not a surprise we'd cancel each other out. Exactly. If we don't overcome that, the damage won't go through. So they're trying to, like, overcome his defenses. We'll lose sooner or later if we keep trading blows like this. We simply can't match a monster in a battle of attrition. So next time we use Conqueror's Haki, we should channel all of our mass into it. Huff, huff. So that's what Garp is, like, questioning. Yeah, don't worry about how crippling the aftermath will be. If we do that, we probably won't survive this. So they're like, basically like, we have to put all of our mass behind it. Oh, dude, okay, sorry. I'm not sure if you guys have watched Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War. This very much reminds me of the moment, I guess like minor spoilers for Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War, but essentially there's this great moment where the head captain, like Bleach has like these like captains of soul reapers and stuff, and like who are, you know, kind of keeping the world in balance by, you know, maintaining the souls in the world of the living versus the world of the dead and stuff. And the leader of that kind of like organization that does that essentially like loses somebody at the beginning of the Blood War, and then gets attacked by that person's like basically his friend who gets killed. That essentially the enemy steals his ability and uses it against him. And there's this moment where he lets the guy use it because like the leader is just so OP. He's getting hit by this like ultimate attack of his friend, and he's like, you know, he says to the guy he's fighting, he's like, I can feel your frustration. And that's kind of, it got that moment just has so much aura, dude. It's so awesome. So I love reading that same line here. If you were ever into Bleach and you haven't watched 1,000 Year Blood War, what the hell are you doing with yourself? What are you doing in this stream? Go watch it. It's like the best adaptation of like anything ever. You know, it's so good. It's way better than it has any right to be. Either way, it'll take all three of us out. It'll take all three of us out of commission. Huff, huff. And if we don't land this, it's all over. So they're putting their all into like one big attack, like all their mass into it. Interesting. Okay. So we know that, what's his name? Damn, Roger looks fucking yoked, bro. His neck is crazy. Looking like Katakuri with that neck, bro. But yeah, it's interesting. So like, what was I saying? What was I getting at here? I think what I was trying to say before I was talking about Bleach stuff, but essentially, yeah. So what was I fucking saying? So like essentially, this is interesting. So like I'm just trying to break down like what they're doing here. So Conqueror's Haki, they need to put all their mass into it. So I assume that's like everything they have and like one like all like when they say mass, I assume it's like they're using Conqueror's Haki more judiciously, and they need to put like everything they have. It's almost like Conqueror's Haki can be coded all across your body, just like Armament Haki, but you want to have as much of that like concentrated Haki like into like whatever you're using, whether it's your fist, whether it's a sword, whether it's a club, into like your weapon of choice. Like all of it you can muster in one place, and it might like exhaust you, like kind of like almost like the way Zoro got exhausted when using Enma during his fight with King and whatnot. Like it would almost take too much, but it's like, no, you have to give it that much. Like you have to give it all you got, or you're not going to be able to do your attack or whatever. So in fact, I'm now that I'm thinking about King, because King and like his ability to just kind of like tank anything unless he was like not using unless his fire was turned off, like that was always a little weird. But it's like, is that like a similar ability? Because we know there's like the Mother Flame, and then we know that whatever Im and his like cohorts are doing, like Im and the God's Knights and the Gorosei, all seem like invincible unless you hit them with like some sort of like Haki. There's like a sort of like Conqueror's Haki trick that allows you to damage them. So I'm trying to figure out like what that would be. I think they're about to kind of show it in more detail here, so let's keep reading. Either way, it'll take all three of us out of commission. Huff, huff. And if we don't land this, it's all over. Hey, Rox. Oh, so this is actually Garp right here. Hey, Rox. I don't know if there's any words that'll comfort you at this point. I don't even know what's happened to you. But I do know one thing. I can feel your frustration. So he's like fighting. He's like missing a tooth. Wow, almost like the real Blackbeard. Drip, drip. And he's fucking crying. And he's sad. And because he doesn't want to be doing this. This is no time for tears, you dolt. Okay, so Roger's interesting. So Roger's like swinging his he's kind of doing like what Luffy does, where he like swings his arm around before he like throws a big crazy punch. This is no time for tears, you dolt. Kagutsuchis. Kagutsuchi is the Shinto god of fire. Okay, interesting. Bzz, bzz. Infinitum. So he does like kind of like sort of like infinitum. So that's interesting because he always does like sort of like planetary bodies and like galaxy stuff, galaxy impact, like Jupiter punch or whatever. Like he's always doing like stuff about like the planets and the solar system. That's like his attack names, and his is always like Shinto gods and like crazy divine Japanese things. Shinto god Kagutsuchi's infinitum foe. Kagutsuchi's ace. Wow. And then infinity explosion. Oh shit. Wow, and he does, it's almost like a Gatling. Oh god, that's so cool. So he does like a fucking crazy like multi-slice by like spinning his blade and putting all his hockey into it. And he does a crazy fucking, so they put like all their mass behind it, I guess. And it's gonna do more damage than it normally would. Wow, okay. Cuts him up, cuts him into pieces, cuts him into ribbons. Wow, okay. It's almost like you have to hit them with an attack that they can't heal from, or not easily anyway, because the healing actually, I assume, takes something out of them in some capacity. But this clearly pierced through his armament hockey, which he was using to kind of, you know, defend himself. And they were able to basically over armament hockey his armor, or over conquerors hockey his conquerors hockey. They out conquered hockey him, I suppose. Is what is being implied. It looks cool. This is a really cool panel. This is a sick attack. Kagutsuchi's ace, infinitum explosion. It's awesome to see Roger and Garp do something badass like this and beat rocks together. This is really cool. Ace explosion. And honestly, you know, like this flashback has been so interesting, so exciting. We've been waiting to know what happened on God's Valley for so long. This is super cathartic to finally see, like, because we knew that they took him down, but we didn't know that it was because of his involvement with, you know, with the fact that this, you know, island was being used as like a place for hunting human beings, and that there was like a genocide going on here of like the Davy clan, and that Rox came here for noble intentions, and that they put him down, they put him out of his misery because he wanted them to, you know, like they were doing him a kindness, you know. It really reframes everything we thought we knew about like this whole situation, and it makes me wonder like how does this change my view of like what I think of Blackbeard and like what Blackbeard will do in the future of the narrative, and like what part he has to play going forward. It really gives me a lot to think about. I don't think I can fully like explain all of my thoughts around that because there's a lot swirling around in my brain right now, but it's really interesting. This gives me a lot to stew on, and like I'm very curious to see like where this is going to go and how this is going to shape the future of like Blackbeard and Shanks's arcs going forward, because clearly this incident has influenced them greatly, and it seems like from different opposing points of view. Like Shanks has this relation with, you know, the God's Knights and the world government, and the Tenri Bito being sort of among, you know, from them, from their loins, for lack of a better word. And then on the other hand, Blackbeard has the blood of like, you know, the worst people in the world, just like Robin. I mean, maybe even more so than Robin, but like just like he's like as big a threat as like Joy Boy in a way, because he comes from the Davy clan, who used to be the kings of the world before the world government. So it's, you know, he's like the ultimate, you know, guy that people want dead, like even more than someone like Robin. So crazy. And just knowing more about Rox, knowing that he's actually like a pretty noble guy who definitely was like kind of like an anarchist, wanted to tear the system down, but like very much like someone who really cared about the people in his life and wanted to like do right by them. And yeah, he was kind of like, you know, a fuckboy and like a bit of a rowdy fucker, you know, and a rabble-rouser, but like he was still like had his noble qualities about him, was still a badass for sure, like a huge badass. It's really interesting, and it makes me wonder how this, like, I wonder if Blackbeard is under the assumption that, like, maybe he doesn't know the full story of this incident, and maybe he's just like, yeah, you know what, like, Ace, your dad, and Luffy's grandpa, y'all killed my fucking dad, and you're assholes for that, and, like, you know, the Davy clan has always been persecuted, and you got motherfuckers, like, don't have to worry about that as much as we do and stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure like exactly what angle Blackbeard's going to come from, because Blackbeard seems like a more, I would say he seems like more like underhanded than Rox did. He seems like more nefarious in some ways. And he seems like he, like, it's almost like if like Rox's view of like wanting to topple the world order were like kind of like drilled down to its most like essential components of like it doesn't have that sort of like altruistic intention of like, because Rox clearly knew his shit. He knew about Joy Boy. He knew about his ancestors. I assume, I mean, Blackbeard knows a ton. He's a really smart guy, so he must know at least some of this shit. And he's like a careful planner. He's maybe not quite as like, he doesn't have as much aura as his dad, but he's definitely like a big player who's super strong and like super capable. But like he's more of like a Machiavellian schemer than really anything else. And where like, yeah, it's just interesting. It's interesting to see how this is all manifesting. And I'm curious, like, what is driving Blackbeard now? Like, I'm really curious to learn more about his goals and intentions in the story going forward. This, like, definitely gives him, like, an interesting origin point that, yeah, well, I'll be paying, like, a lot of attention to that going forward and definitely trying to, like, think about what I think he might be wanting to do based on what we've seen him do so far and his stated motivations up until this point. King T says, Garp too cool. I still think Toei going to make God Valley the first canon movie. They'll make it a season 2 like Demon Slayer, but if they make this a movie, it's going to be insanely successful. Yeah, but I feel like you need it to be in like the main story. You can't have like the main plot hidden behind like a paywall. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you can make the audience go see a movie to get like actual like super important shit to the narrative. You know what I mean? That like everyone has to be privy to in order to get it. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be opposed to them doing a movie version, but I feel like they have to do a version for the anime as well. Maybe they can do like a more fleshed out version for the movie, if they did a movie, but I don't know. Who knows? Only time will tell. Definitely not ruling it out, but I feel like it would be a little bit weird for it to be just a movie, at least from what we've seen. Like, this seems like essential to the narrative at large. The disbanding of the chaotic crew. Okay, hold on. The world government tried their best to bury this incident in the shadows. However, the disbanding of the chaotic crew, led by Rox D. Zebek, would leave an undeniable echo. The Rox pirates destabilized an entire era, and the tremors of their legacy would continue to shake the new world. A legendary incident uncovered. Wow. Wow, that's awesome. What a cool chapter, dude. All right, we gotta move to the next one. I think I have one more chapter in me before I can have to drop off. But let's do it. This is great. Fuck yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's go to the next one. We'll do one more, I think. Oh God, it's loading so slowly. Come on, load faster. Oh my God. Okay, this is cute. This is a cute cover page. What are they eating? Like sweet potatoes, or is it like a hot bun that you'd get at like a Japanese store? I don't know. It's cute. I don't know exactly what they're eating, but it's clearly too hot for everybody. Luffy's hands are burning. There's a little funny fox man I love this guy. I like this guy more than Chopper, unironically. This guy's awesome. Oh, we got Yamato, Shinobu. What are they doing here? I don't know. But we got a lot of foxes. I assume this is probably like, this seems like a fall cover story. Probably came out around the time that I was in Japan. Hence the foxes. I know the Fushimi Inari Shrine, there's like a lot of like fox statues there. So maybe this is like referencing that in some way. I don't know. It's a good time to visit in the fall, so could be. The aftermath of the battle. Goff, did they really break the curse? Oh, so is that my boy? Oh wow, sorry, they're all right here, and this is the boy rocks. Chapter 11, 66. New Tales. So we got Roger and Garp both slumped. Everybody's slumped. Everyone's used up all their energy. Oh shit! And we got the God's Knights approaching. Not good. Come on, stay alive. This island is. So, interesting. So, seems like they really broke the curse with their hockey. That's cool. So that means that if they broke the curse, that means that potentially Dorian Brogy can be saved as well. So that's good news, at least. We have a potential method. Not sure exactly what they did, but like I'm sure it'll be explained more by Scopper Gaban. So hopefully we'll find out more. Come on, stay alive. This island is. And then we have the God's Knights approaching. That's a really cool panel with them like upside down. Oh shit. Damn it, it's too late. Roger, Garp, run! You can't die here. So we got Summers, we got fucking Moon Man, I forget this guy's name all the time. It's Shanks' dad. It's the Moon Face Man. And then the girl with the big teeth who almost killed, or who got Figurlin Garling. Yeah, Figurlin Garland's baby back ribs. Oh yeah, there's one more thing I wanted to say. Thanks for stopping me. And then stabbed. Those rocks. Huff, huff. Okay, so it looks like they were able to save Garp and Roger. Interesting, okay. Yeah, so they saved Garp too. Oh, so this is Roger asking about him, huh? You're worrying about the enemy? I'm your enemy too, says Garp. So, okay. So it looks like they were able to save them. That's cool. Rayleigh and Gaban were able to save Roger and oh, and he still had his straw hat back then. I actually forgot because we haven't seen it in a few chapters. That's cool. You're worrying about the enemy? I'm your enemy too. Rayleigh, tell me what happened to Rox. He was killed. And then, hurry, the island's collapsing. Okay, so the island's collapsing. Don't let the pirates escape. Roger's ship is on the move. Fire! This event would leave no mark on the pages of history. Wow. The crumbling island was swallowed by the waves and consumed by fog. Okay, so Garp, he's in medical care. On Roger's ship, perhaps? I'm not sure. Like, okay, the crumbling island was swallowed by the waves and consumed by fog. Doji says, that girl with the teeth also has horns. Wonder how that works with celestial dragon racism. Huh, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought about that. Yeah, that's a good... Maybe similar to Loki, this person was like recognized for their strength and given like special status as a member of the world government and the Celestial Dragons because of their strength, potentially. Like curtains closing on a grand stage. Okay. The crumbling island was swallowed by the waves and consumed by fog. Wow. Like curtains closing on a grand stage. Aw, Big Mom, looking great. She looks so adorable. I love her. She looks great. Super hot, super cute. Love it. We got Whitebeard. We got the boys. Garp and Roger. We got Big Meme. That was the essence of the God Valley incident. Let's go full speed ahead. Okay, so all the pirates are running away. Same with the Marines. Yahaha! The silence in the incident's wake lasted only a moment. So Dragon actually did something cool. He was able to save some people before a massive... and Shanks is just sleeping in a pile of treasure. Because, you know what? That's a great start for Shanks, being like obsessed with treasure from the very beginning. Killingham kind of looks like Dellinger, too, from the Dressrosa Half-Fishman. I was thinking... I forgot Dellinger's name, but I was thinking that, too. I was like, yeah, it looks... Definitely has a Dellinger vibe, for sure. I mean, it's interesting to see, like, that we have, like... Captain John, who has like Kid's Devil Fruit, before it was Kid's Devil Fruit, and we have that other guy in the armor who flicks his boogers, just like Mr. Five. Like, it's just interesting to see like who had these powers before the people of the modern day had them. The silence in the incident's wake lasted only a moment. Interesting. Before a massive bolt of lightning split the heavens. Wow. And with that, the curtain rose for new tales to unfold. So they're trying to take care of Kuma. We got the boy Teach, who is just a little cute little baby. And just sad. Sad about his home getting destroyed. I mean, it looks like he's still with his mom, so that's good. Still... Hold it in. Just wait till Roger's up. Come on, Captain. I'm dying to open up the treasure chests. Roger. And, oh, nice. And, both the Snake sisters are with them. Sorry to worry you guys. Yeah. We're thrilled. More importantly, check it out. Don't you care about me at all? Shaggy's safe and sound. Aw, hehe. And we scored a ton of treasure to boot. Who is this dude? Who's this dude with the cool mustache and the hat and the fucking Hawaiian shirt? I don't think we've ever seen him before, but we've definitely seen this bat guy with the cool headband and the spiky hair. I don't know if we've seen this guy. Oh, I think we've seen this guy with the mustache and the nose. I've seen a lot of these other guys. Have we seen this big guy? Is it supposed to be Douglas Bullitt? I'm not sure. Like, there was definitely a guy when the Roger Pirates arrived who looked a lot like Douglas Bullitt. And we had never seen him in, like, the background of, like, a Roger Crew picture before, but, like, it's possible. Like, he is, like, presumably a pseudo-canon character, I think. What a great haul! Wah, huh? Goo-ga! What the? It's coming from that chest. There's something in there. Open it carefully. Click. Gulp. Huh? Of course. It's baby Shanks. A baby? Aw. The best treasure of all. A child, I suppose. For some people, that's true. Yeah, interesting. Rocks pirates were wiped out. Cuckoo, predictably. News coverage was falsified. Only one aspect of the story was highlighted, the heroism of Garp. It says here that the Rocks pirates have been vanquished. Rocks is dead. I knew it. Vice Admiral Garp is the strongest. Garp, he's a hero. Yeah, so that's interesting. So, like, Garp's being super lionized as, like, the one who did, like, pretty much all of the work when it was, like, a group effort. And like, you know, yeah, he did, him and Roger together took out Rocks, but it was like, they also couldn't do anything about Eam at all, basically. Grand Line, AVHQ, what the hell is this article? So he's pissed, of course, because they didn't actually, you know, run it by him first. Vice Admiral Garp, I can't wait to get my hands on that Morgan's fella. Relax, Garp. He only wrote that stuff because the government paid him off. Okay, so he's been in government hospitals, so he's going to be alright. The world government and the Marines are massive organizations. If you count the member nations' armies, we're talking about tens of millions of soldiers worldwide. It's impossible to account for everyone's actions and motivations. So if the top brass ever do strike me as insane, I'd simply turn a blind eye to it. Come again? Yeah, what the fuck does he mean by that? Wait, what does Sengoku mean by this? the world, I gotta read that again. The world government and the Marines are massive organizations. If you count the member nations' armies, we're talking about tens of millions of soldiers worldwide. So he's just talking about how big the armies are and how big these organizations are. It's impossible to account for everyone's actions and motivations. So if the top brass ever do strike me as insane, I simply turn a blind eye to it. What? So is he just trying to suggest that Garp should do the same? Because the organization is too big for him to like affect change? Is that what he's trying to say? Come again? I can't wait. Okay, so King T says, I can't wait for Luffy and Kobe versus Blackbeard. I'm sorry, I don't think Kobe's going to be able to do anything against Blackbeard. It is not. This is not a one-to-one thing. Like Garp and Kobe, and like Luffy and Roger, I do not see this. I know Kobe's come a long way. Kobe is not going to be one of the main people fighting against Eam or whatever, you know, or Blackbeard for that matter. I think Luffy versus Blackbeard will end in a 1v1 though. I do as well. I feel like it has to, you know, but we'll see. I do not think Blackbeard is going to have the same fate as his father. I think, if anything, Blackbeard is more likely to like get revenge for him. So I simply turn a blind eye to it. Come again? And then now they're fighting. It's just like I said, you're just another promotion chasing fool. So now they're fighting, beating each other. Oh, Sengoku actually got some licks in. That's pretty impressive. I guess they were kind of rivals in their own right within the Marines. Shut up! What good can you do barking from the bottom of the cliff? Okay, so he's trying to explain, like, look, if you go chasing the top dogs, like, you're just gonna end up, you know, dead, basically. Hey, you two! If you ever stray and get corrupted, I'll kill you myself. How reassuring. I guess that's what friends are for, so... Okay, so these guys are big old rivals. We get it. So you're not quitting then, Garp? Idiot. There are still things at the bottom of the cliff that need a guard dog. Interesting. Okay, so that's his motivation for sticking around, is wanting to protect the Marines who have, you know, good in their heart, who want to do good and want to, like, protect the citizens of the world and not just, like, prop up, like, an evil, like, authoritarian system. So, which is understandable. A lot of people get into, you know, law enforcement or politics wanting to do good, and it's just an unfortunate situation where a lot of times the systems that are being protected aren't always the most, you know, weren't maybe at least founded on good principles. Or like there's like systemic corruption, but it doesn't mean like individuals still can't do good things as part of a corrupt system. So it's an important distinction to make. Yeah. Elbaf, New World. Wah, wah. Okay, so Loki's crying, of course. You again. I ain't letting you on my ship. How many times do I gotta tell you, Pipsqueak? You think I want a brat on my crew? Aw. Hick. So he's crying. What is this? The guy I want ain't giving me the time of day, but his snot-nosed brat won't leave me alone. So he wasn't even like particularly nice to Loki. He was just like, oh, you know, hey Rox, I think you're Nika. Nika? Don't say that. Racist little Loki. Hey Rox, I think you're Nika. Nika, the warrior of liberation who will destroy the world while laughing. Oh, so that's his perspective on the theory. Destroy it. I'm aiming to be the king of the world. Besides, if anyone's got that sort of power, it's Harald, huh? Interesting. The warrior of liberation who will destroy the world while laughing. So we know that Loki thinks of himself as Joy Boy or Nika, or the sun god. And that he has the power to do this now, to destroy the world. Interesting. So interesting, Rox didn't know who Nika was until Loki had brought it up to him. That's interesting, okay. Listen up, Loki. Somewhere out there, the Galera are slumbering. They're an outrageous band of ravagers. Okay, so the Galera. So the Galera are something we've heard about before. They were like essentially, it's like the frozen giants. I think Kaido found them potentially. It was like the ancient giants that were like de-thawed or whatever. Or Or maybe Kaido had ancient giant experiments and not the actual Galera. But I don't know. It's hard to say because like the numbers were presumably, like I think the numbers are the Galera. I think that's implied on some level, but I could be wrong. And but maybe they were like Kaido's attempt with Caesar Clown to like create the Galera, right? That's possible. Or genetically manipulate giants to become the Galera, essentially, like, or a version of them. Because, like, yeah, the numbers seem like a bit too underwhelming to be the Galera themselves, you know? That's how I feel about them anyway. And the only one who can put them back into play is your pops. Interesting. So, listen up, Loki. Somewhere out there, the Galera are slumbering. They're an outrageous band of ravagers. And the only one who can put them back into play is your pops. So this is like a great legend. I'm going to continue to rally the rogues of the world. So just imagine if Harald and I teamed up. Who could possibly stop us then? Wow, that's awesome. Okay, I like that Loki thinks that like Rox is so based, because Rox is based. He's proven himself to me. So why aren't you and Pops allies already? Because of love. And he's like, what? And he doesn't. We know that Loki doesn't understand love. He's like, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Because he's been hurt so many times by his mom, and he's never been he's been shown some love by his dad, but his dad is like such a busy guy. He just doesn't get as much attention as he needs, and everyone assumes he's cursed and that he is like part of the harbinger of Elbaf's demise, essentially. So because of his, were his eyes literally poked out by his mother? I think that's what is implied here, but I don't know. Or maybe he'll unleash his Sharingan towards the end of the series. That's also possible. But I'm gonna come back again and again. I don't care if it takes 100 or 200 meetings. Russell Hick. Wow. So he's reading the newspaper. It's like really small in his hand. That's sad. I feel your pain, Loki. This is a sad day. It's a vicious assault. King Harald of Elbaf is on a certain island. Have any civilians been harmed? No. He attacked another giant, some thug. It's quite a brutal scene, Sob. You still don't get it. I understand. I understand. I'm really, I'm sorry. I'll never steal from humans again. You don't get it. None of you do. So he's trying to like repair the relationship between giants and humans. This giant stole from humans, and he's like, dude, you doing this gives the rest of us a bad name. Please stop. Please stop doing it. And not even please stop. He's like, if you do it, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you, actually. So it's not even a please stop. It's like, don't you fucking do it or I will kill you. Huge trash heaps like you are responsible for the terrors in our race's history. And that's why we can't be trusted. And while reprimanding this lad, he's literally destroying buildings and like destroying a society. Come on, Harald. You need to get your shit together, man. And that's why we can't be trusted. We only desire to peacefully engage with the world now, but they can't trust that. I mean, it's because you could like accidentally step on somebody. Like, it's the unfortunate like Attack on Titan thing where it's like, look, if you could turn into a giant at any time, like who just wants to devour people, like that is a scary thing to be around, and it has to be regulated in some capacity. And it's like, it's kind of the same with like actual giants, even though like, I mean, not really. Like a giant can have altruistic motivations, but if they like turn over in their sleep and they're sleeping in the same area as humans, they could just squish a person and kill them, you know? So it's like, there is like legitimate reasons to be like a little bit like, I wouldn't say fearful around giants. You shouldn't be like racist towards them because of stuff that they can't control. But there's reasons to be like cautious about like having a human society and a giant society like, you know, together, because, you know, there are legitimate, you know, like literal zoning issues that can come about from that sort of a society. But it's unfortunate because like you would, like, I'm sure with the right infrastructure, you could make something like that work in the world of One Piece. Obviously, this is not a problem we have in the real world because people are not giant like this and wouldn't like accidentally like turn over and squish a person, you know, and like people sometimes sleep with their, you know, with their like children next to them and they don't squish them accidentally even though they're significantly bigger than them. So it's It's definitely different here because this is like extremely exaggerated to make a point about like racism, and not to quote unquote racism, but like racism and like prejudice and like like people's preconceived notions about people. But in a situation like this, it's not always a one-to-one analogous with our world, because there are actually like legitimate reasons to be like a little bit concerned about like being around someone who could like just accidentally like fall on their ass and like if they're drunk and like just kill you with their ass, or like accidentally step on you if they're not looking too closely, so it's just one of those things. It's like a little bit different than a real world analogy, but I think the idea trying to be gotten across is the same, in that like it's still not right to be prejudiced, it's still not right to treat people differently, and we should try to like take responsibility on some level for like generational harm and whatnot, and whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. All that woke shit. We can't be trusted. We only desire to peacefully engage with the world now, but they can't trust that. So he's really upset because he just wants there to be peace and friendliness between the giants and other people in the world, but it's hard because other giants are giving them a bad name. Odo handling these topics right now is great. Yeah, I 100% agree. It's the right time to be exploring these things. Your Highness, he's already out cold. I didn't want to jeopardize Elbaf's chances of joining the world government. That was my only reason. Yeah, I mean, he's already passed out. So he's upset because his friend died. So I didn't want to jeopardize Elbaf's chances of joining the world government. That was my only reason for not helping him. But it doesn't feel like luck's on my side anymore, Harald. Lend me a hand. I forsook my closest friend as he begged me for aid. I left him to die. Damn, I didn't realize Harald thought so highly of Rox, but I guess they definitely had a friendship, but it's interesting to see that like this was this much tenderness between, like I always thought like the tenderness was more like one way, but it was definitely returned. Like they definitely liked each other. Wow. Wow. There's no turning back now, so that's why he's like crashing out. He's like really upset. He's beat up some other giants too, it looks like. I will never ever forgive a giant who does evil. So it's like he is like so mad because like of any giants doing any sort of crime, even though this guy just stole from people, which isn't like the biggest crime you can do. But it's like the idea here is like he is so upset because he literally let his friend march to his death and like forsook him in order to chose his people, the betterment of his people in the long term over the potential betterment, not even the betterment, the potential betterment of his people and their standing on the world stage in the long term, by not getting involved in this conflict that would have potentially saved his friend or helped him save his friend, and instead like chose to like passively submit to the world government, who ended up killing his friend. And now it's like the fact that other people aren't willing to sacrifice, in a lot of ways, not even anywhere near what he's been willing to sacrifice. Like one of his best friend, he even said it as himself here. Like he's like, I sacrificed literally my best friend. I let him go to his death just to like raise the standing of giants in the world, or like potentially to allow for that to happen. And you guys are out here committing petty crimes and like making our reputation worse. Well, I was willing to give up that much. Like fuck you. So this is like, I would say it's a justified crash out right here, but definitely like a crash out nonetheless. And everyone's kind of like a little bit shocked because he's clearly doing a lot of damage, but it's because he's like in emotional distress. He is upset. It's so interesting, a small amount of the giants' population continue to ruin the giant reputation after everything Harald has done. Well, to be fair, we don't know if all of these giants are from Elbaf. Some of them might not actually be from Elbaf, and therefore maybe they are not as familiar with like Harald's efforts. So maybe he like Harald himself clearly has such a like important place on the world stage and like an important platform. So clearly he's taking responsibility of not just the giants of Elbaf, but all like essentially the way all giants are considered on like a world level, because he is trying to raise the standing of his race of people in the eyes of like everyday people, right? Like, so he's trying to like essentially police his own in order to allow for them to have like more rights and be like, you know, like essentially like welcomed as like, you know, kind of like benevolent actors in the world. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting. Like, there's definitely like some like analogies you can make to the real world stuff here. But like it is interesting because like in One Piece, like in the real world, we do not have giant people who can just step on people and who are just like that much stronger than an everyday person. Obviously, like people do get like different groups of people might get bad reputations because of like things that parts of their in-groups have done in the past, even though it's like always a small part of that group in a lot of cases, not all the time. Obviously, sometimes systemic issues are from the top down. But it's like, this is interesting. It's like definitely like analogous to real world stuff, but not 100% analogous because there is like a fantastical element to it. But I think that's just Oda trying to, you know, like use this fantastical element to make a larger point about racism and taking responsibility for the people in your in-group, or on some level, you know, which is interesting. It's interesting. I'm curious to see where this will go. I feel like we're going to get a lot of things subverted. Because clearly Harald's efforts end up not coming to the outcome that he wants, and possibly for good reason, because it seems like the world government is really taking advantage of him, and his willingness and his like his desire to raise the standing of the giants on the world stage. That is true. It's not exactly similar, but it reminds me of Jinbei's story. Yeah, for sure. Jinbei, the Fishman is like very much like, I would say that's like more on the nose with the racism, because like except for like Wadatsumi, most fishmen are not like, if you touch them, you're not going to get hurt. Or like if they roll over on top of you, like you're not going to die. Like, unless you're like a literal baby or like a Tontada baby or something. But like it's different with like the giants, like in that like they can, just them being as large as they are and being around normal people. It's honestly more like, it reminds me a lot of, I don't know if you guys have seen like Beastars, but Beastars has some interesting kind of like the herbivore carnivore sort of dynamic, the way like carnivores are like naturally stronger than herbivores in a lot of ways, and they have like this kind of like natural, like more like predatory desires that they have to keep in check, and you know, to live peacefully with herbivores, and like herbivores kind of like learning to, you know, have more compassion for carnivores and what they go through. It's interesting. It's like I kind of see some of the stuff they deal with in that, with like kind of like the strength dynamics at play, which is clearly like analogous to, I think, like you know, strength dynamics that exist in our real world between you know, like for instance, even like just the difference between like male sex and female sex people, essentially. Not to get into gender at all, but just like how there can be like you know, it is reasonably, you know, more reasonable for, I think, like people of the female sex to be more like wary around like, you know, men or people of the male sex, just because of their I don't know, for a variety of reasons. I'm not like a gender study person, but like and it's a tough thing to fully explain in a way that, like, I feel like I'd be walking an interesting line trying to go into that topic, just because like, I don't know, I'm not like, I wouldn't say I'm not well read. I wouldn't say I'm super well read on that stuff, but, and it's not that I can't talk about it. I think it's just I feel more comfortable talking about like other things. That's a tricky one to sort of talk about without kind of, I don't know. I feel like I could potentially, I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty like decent view on things. I'm pretty progressive, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to delve too deep without like kind of really knowing what I'm saying. So I'll skip that for now and kind of move on. But you guys kind of get what I'm talking about here. Navy HQ underground detention cell. So we got Garp and our boy Dragon. King T says, I always wondered why there was no female prisoners in Impel Down besides Ivankov, part of the prison, and Katerina Devon. I think they go straight to the cells. Yeah, oof. Yeah, that's not. That's there. That could definitely be a possibility. Yeah, there might be others that we just didn't see. Like One Piece is a little bit more male centric, just in terms of like. I mean, not to say there aren't a lot of cool and interesting female characters and female bad guys as well, but there is like a I would say like I think the male characters. I don't know. I don't want to say they get more focus. Like Robin and Nami get a good bit of focus, especially Robin recently. But I don't know. Like maybe it's just a shonen thing where there's like more male characters, and therefore we saw more of them in Impel Down. But we, with the new Kama, we saw female characters as well. And yeah, Katarina Devon is definitely like the token female character in Impel Down, I suppose. But yeah, it's interesting. I guess what I was trying to get at before is like the dynamics at play, like between you hear more from women about how they don't always feel safe around men. I remember like a year or two ago, there was this thing about like, would you rather be in like a room with like a man or a bear? And it's like, I'll take the bear, was like the meme, right? But it's the idea is that like I guess like. And it's one of those conversations that comes up when people are like, men are always like, like entitled or like, think like this is okay or whatever. And it's like, well, obviously like, and then the obvious response to that is like, not all men, right? And then, but it's, in a lot of cases when women say men, they're not talking about men as like a monolith. They're talking about like, but that's the thing. It's always leads to these weird conversations and whatnot. But I think the general idea that I empathize with at least is that, and, I tend to approach, or I don't know, wouldn't even say if I approach it or not, but like, I am cognizant of the fact that like, as like a biological, I don't want to say biological male, I feel like that sounds kind of weird, but I guess like as a person of the male sex, like that, you do have like certain like physical characteristics that could make you like, that could make a woman like legitimately afraid of you, or if you were to act in a way that would like imply that you're like a creep or a weirdo or like gonna do something weird. And like, I guess that's all I'm really trying to get at with what I was saying before, is that like, I get why women might be more afraid of men, and that goes back to the idea of like, herbivores being more afraid of carnivores, and in what's it called? Zootopia? No, not Zootopia, but Beastars, and then also, which stemmed from me talking about like the giants versus humans. Like giants naturally being bigger, they have like a natural advantage that could make them like reasonably, like could make normal humans like reasonably afraid of them, just like with herbivores and Beastars being reasonably afraid of carnivores because of their natural advantages, and if they're bad actors who aren't considerate for others and are like selfish and are like creepy or like entitled, like, or shitty, or have like been taught bad things, like they can, herbivores have a reason to be like skeptical and cautious, just like in the real world. Like the real world analogous thing to both of these things would be like, I would say like biologically female, like the female sex being like a little bit more cautious around toxic men. I guess, like toxic people of the male sex. That's all I'm really trying to say. I'm not trying to get too gender studies about it. Like I don't want to be preachy or whatever, but it's just like that's the analogy that I would make more so than like almost like a race thing in this case. Where like with the Fishman stuff, that was very specifically like an analogy for like actual real world racism, because this is just immutable characteristics. These people are not actually any different from like normal, or not normal people, but like other people in the world of One Piece. They just have like something specific about them that makes them look a little different. Like that's it. So it's a little bit different with the giants and the humans, as it is in Beastars with the herbivores and the carnivores, as it is in IRL with what I was talking about before. You guys get it. I don't have to belabor the point anymore. Hey Zulu, man with power. I'm sure someone has already asked you this, but do you really think Loki is going to join the Straw Hats? I don't know what I think about that. Right now, I don't know if I see Loki joining the Straw Hats as like a member of the crew, but I could definitely see Loki joining like the war effort, becoming an ally. Like, as a member of the crew, I'd be pretty surprised if Loki joins, personally. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. King T says, in my opinion, Oda's setting up Hajrudin to be Odin from Norse mythology, and Loki is a mix between Thor and Loki. Yeah. Because Hajrudin's goal, interesting, is to unite all giants, and Loki could be his right-hand man, or his right hand. Yeah, I'm curious, like, what Hajrudin's role in this is going to be, because Loki almost seems like, interestingly, like more like Thor in some ways. He seems like a combination of Thor and Loki, because he's got like the Thor's hammer that, like, you know, did the big lightning strike. And but he's like Loki in that he's kind of like unpredictable and a little bit like demented, and kind of like you know, seems like a blight upon the family, or in some ways. But I see yeah, well, you know, I almost see Hajrudin as like more of like a Thor type guy, with Harald being more of an Odin type figure. Personally, that's how I see it. But I could be mixing up my Norse mythology. It's been a while since I've really delved deep into that kind of thing. Though I do want to refresh myself on some of it. Navy HQ underground detention cell. Dad, I'm gonna quit the Marines. Okay. He's just like, okay, sure, okay. And you? I despise you. Okay. And he just drops the key in his cell. That's so funny that their relationship is so like... So he's been arrested. He's been arrested and beaten, presumably, or at very least not given medical assistance after returning from God's Valley, because he literally took a world government person hostage and was like, let the people on the ship or I'm going to fucking start shooting people. You know, he literally took a ship hostage. So of course he's being reprimanded. Of course he's been placed, you know, under review for defying orders from above. And okay, as I start to his story, this isn't bad. Like, this gives... I like that it's the God's Valley incident that gives him this, like, revelation that, like, yeah, fuck the Marines, fuck the world government, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. And the fact that he would also see, like, think less of his dad for this is also interesting. But his dad clearly still loves him and is like, all right, get the hell out of here, like, don't stick around. Yeah, this is really interesting. Like, I like that. So I feel like if you'd asked me like a couple years ago, like, would I like it if all of these like flashbacks took place in the same place? I would have been like, no, that makes the world of One Piece feel small. And in some ways it does, right? Because in the world of One Piece, like, it's usually big enough that like there are all these different events that could happen around the world that can impact things in different ways. And I like that idea in concept, because One Piece is like a sprawling world. You'd imagine that there'd be all sorts of different things that could be someone's origin point. And for the most part, there has been throughout the story. And it has made the world of One Piece feel large. But I will say this, considering how much the God's Valley incident has been built up to, I actually don't really mind like it being a linchpin point for all of these major players, especially who are like still a big part of the story right now, right? And the reason I don't mind it, and I actually think it's kind of cool, is because I feel like Oda's trying to draw some sort of parallel right now. I feel like the God Valley incident, even more so than like the Marineford War, is supposed to be like almost like back in the day, this was like the linchpin incident that like kind of changed the course of history. And the next time we have a incident that is on that level of like importance, or like on that level of I guess I would say like I don't know, grandiosity. I don't even know what else to call it. Like, it's going to be like the final war with like everyone involved. And this time, Loki, and as opposed to Harald, is going to be with the pirates. He's gonna be with Luffy. And I don't know what Blackbeard's gonna be doing. I don't know if Blackbeard... I assume there's gonna be like multiple parties at play here. I feel like Blackbeard and Luffy will not be a united front for at least most of the fight. Maybe they will team up to take down Eam, and then afterwards they'll battle it out. That would be my like loose prediction of like how the final battle could go. But like, I think Blackbeard being involved with Eam and maybe like some of the other Marines to take down the world government, the God's Knights, and stuff like that would make more sense. Like, that makes a lot more sense to me as something that could end up going in that direction. And that way Kobe potentially could be involved in the fight in some capacity. Or if not Kobe, we could get maybe Smoker doing some interesting stuff. Who's to say? But yeah, so I see it going more in that direction. I hope that Dragon is involved in some capacity. That'd be interesting. It's also interesting that Dragon did not see Eam, but maybe, yeah, I don't know. That is kind of surprising to me. But in the end of the day, I think this flashback being a linchpin point for all these major characters, kind of giving them, some of them their origin stories, being the kind of a closing point for Rox, and also like a starting point for a lot of like our soon-to-be Yonko, or would-be Yonko, is interesting. It honestly, I think it works. Because it just makes sense. And this, I don't know, I like it because it feels like this is going to be paralleled in the big events that are to come. So I think it's cool. I think this makes sense. I don't mind, as I maybe usually would, this being a, like, confluence of, like, crazy events happening, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Let's see. Message retracted. Oh man. Okay. I've always thought Hajradin is Odin because his attack in Dressrosa name is Gungnir. Oh, okay. Which is Odin's spear in Norse mythology. Yeah, that's understandable. Okay, I can see what you're saying. It could just be Oda doing like a reference. Like sometimes he'll just name something because he thinks it sounds cool. But yeah, you could be right. I mean, they're brothers, so it wouldn't be far-fetched. Well, actually, brothers are, what, Thor and Loki usually, right? But whatever, I trust that you know what you're talking about. I think Loki is going to join the Straw Hats, but eventually join Blackbeard through a Davy back fight. That'd be pretty interesting. It would be interesting to see a united front between Loki and Blackbeard. That'd be kind of neat. But it seems like Loki and Luffy are becoming buddies, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I despise you, okay? And he drops the key, so he just like lets him out. Okay. Okay, buddy. Harald, I've made up my mind. Harald, I've made up my mind, Ida. Elder Jarul, I don't care about appearances anymore. Hajradin, Loki, you are both my precious sons. Aww. I want you to get along when I'm gone. Aw, this is cute. And do what you can to support Elbaf. That ship's from Elbaf. Marineford, Navy HQ. What? My apologies, King Harald, but my superiors have ordered me to not let you land. Oh, shit. Oh, okay. Sorry, I just saw this panel where he pulls his horns out. That's insane. High-ranking Marines and leaders of the world government. So he comes aboard anyway. He doesn't give a fuck. I ask that you please hear me out. Just straight up. Oh, that looks like it would fucking hurt, dude. Holy shit. Snap, snap. Ah! Allow me to atone for the sins of the past 1,000 years. I apologize for every wrong the giant race has committed. The children of Elbaf are being raised to live without harming others. So he's trying to atone in his own way. I apologize for every wrong the giant race has committed. So I guess he went to his sons and told them to get along because he thinks he might die, probably, or be killed by the world government for even doing this. And maybe he's going to even let them enslave him or something. Who knows? Like it looks like he's willing to do literally anything, sacrifice himself in any way possible. And this is like his showing of that. He's on his knees. He is giving them his horns, being like, I will literally do anything to, like, appease you, to, like, show the world that we are, like, serious about peace, serious about, you know, making amends for our past wrongdoing, and, like, showing that, like, you know, like, I want to be the one to bring this about. So, like, do what you will with me, but, like, you know, like, take this shit seriously. I literally just pulled out a part of my head, you know, essentially. Allow me to atone for the sins of the past 1,000 years. I apologize for every wrong the giant race has committed. The children of Elbaf are being raised to live without harming others. And it's funny because he is saying this. We know Im and the Gorosei and, like, the nobles, like, specifically, like, the Im and the Gorosei do not care about them wanting peace. He wants to use them as, like, a force like a military force, like as a you know, as like a force in the war. Like he does not care if they want peace or not. So him pulling out his horns, it's a hollow gesture to them. The children of Elbaf are being raised to live without harming others, so that one day they may walk hand in hand with humanity. I do all this to prove our unwavering commitment to peace. I mean, this is badass. I like Harald a lot. This is really cool. He's a badass base Chad. He's willing to do it all to like establish peace. He's really cool. Like that's really sick. I'll do whatever it takes to atone for our sins, even if it means becoming a slave. Wow. So he is literally submitting himself as a slave to like try to atone. Like that's crazy. Is there light at the end of this tunnel? And this seems to have gotten Eame's attention. And that's not good. That is not good. That is not what you want. You do not want Eame's attention. You had his curiosity. Now you have his attention. And yeah, this is bad. He's going to use you as a fucking weapon against his enemies, whoever and wherever they might be. You are not going to be repairing the image of the giants by serving Eame as a slave. I'm just telling you right now, buddy. But yeah, we'll see. Anything possible, I guess. The giants could just make Luffy a gigantic ship. That could be pretty cool. Although we have the Sunny, and the Sunny is also pretty cool. So, but yeah, guys, that was awesome. I did go a little bit over time because I got talking for too long, as often happens on these streams. But this was a fun one. And yeah, holy shit, we got through the part of the flashback that was about rocks and the God Valley incident, which was like my goal during this stream, was to finally catch up to that part. It looks like we're pretty close to being current as well. Yeah, 1171. That's awesome. So 1166 to 11, we have 5 chapters until we're caught up. Like I said, this will probably be the last time I can stream for probably about 2 weeks, I would say. So I wanted to do one since I had a little bit of extra time this afternoon. I will have some other videos coming out this week, some more stuff from my playthroughs of Expedition 33 and also Shadow of the Erdtree. So if you're into that stuff, I had some videos of that come out last week. If you haven't seen them, go check them out. Both great games. You know, super interesting playthroughs, so give that a watch if you're bored or if you want something to put on the background while you're at work or doing something else. It's good background noise. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, yeah, and there's more stuff coming. I'm working on other stuff as well. Potentially a video essay for the main channel. This has become the main channel basically because all of my unscripted content goes on Bag of Chips. But I have other stuff coming down the pipeline for this channel and for the main channel as well, like video essays and the like. Hopefully, or I'm working on some stuff. So, although the next few months will probably be a little busy for me, I am trying to keep the content churning out. So, thank you for your patience and thank you for keeping up with the channel and for being part of the stream, and it's been super fun. I'm loving One Piece right now. I'm glad you guys are too. It's been really exciting to get back into it, and yeah, I'm excited for when we can next do a stream. Like I said, it might be a couple weeks before I can do one again, and but yeah, just stay tuned and there'll be more soon. So thanks again for joining me on this adventure on the high seas, and I will see you in the next ChipZ Ahoy, or maybe another video that'll come out in the next few weeks. So, all right, see you later.